Shia LaBeouf. Let's get motivated to drum. Here we go. Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah, thanks, Shia LaBeouf. We're now on the stream mindset. I know, it is very inspiring. I'm glad I could help you out, Jack. Good morning, everybody. All right. We're not doing that. We're not doing drum kit today. We're doing this. I'm going to warm up, stretch and massage, and then I'm going to work on Beatlicious, which is from this book, Quad Logic. It's towards the end. Highly recommend it. Great book. And then I'm going to chop out, and we're going to warm up first with technique exercise way down at the bottom of this page, linked at the top of the screen. Under the stick control variations, there's currently 4 variations, and I'm going to do the advanced stick control with filler. It's fantastic. Catch has listened to you. Now he's a lion. Ooh, I'm glad I could help. Hopefully you've got plenty of meat in stock to satisfy that hunger. Let's do 90. Nice. Glad to hear that you were just practicing. Good to see you're back as well. Thank you for joining again on Instagram. Let's turn up the volume. We're going to do this. Advanced stick control with filler. Let's do this a couple more times, then we'll stretch and massage, and then we'll play this faster than we should. Yeah, this is a good warm-up. I like this one. The last drumline I taught played this. Yeah, this is advanced stick control with filler. So to help with your memorization, so it goes in pairs for the different lines. So the very first line is in duple feel. And so it starts off with your normal stick control. And then the fill-in pattern, you're playing the exact same thing. So you're playing right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left. But now you're filling it in. like that, except obviously making it all even. The second line of each one of these phrases is a triplet version of this. So we start with duple, and then it goes into triplet. So it just goes triplet, 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 triplet. And then the same idea in terms of the triplet sticking. So Swiss, triplet, triplet, right, right, left, right, right, left. And then you just fill that in. Like that. And then it just repeats that. So we have right, left, left, left in duple, and then right, left, left in triple. And then for the fours, it goes to threes, and then the diddles and the inverted rolls at the end. So it's good exercise. What's the difference between this one and advanced stick control with filler? This is the advanced stick control with filler. So I'll play this again in a second. So there's normal stick control with filler. And so this one doesn't have the triple feel for it. So it's got all the same ideas in terms of like how you play through it, except it's just with duple feel. So it doesn't have that triplet version. And then there's also stick control, just like the normal version. This is like a 4-2-1 version of stick control. Has 0 filler in here. And then there's also a variation of stick control where you have 4-2-1, but all you hear are the skeletal aspects of it. So you can play it as a timing exercise as written, or just play normal stick control while only hearing the skeletons, so the hand-to-hand transitions. And that way you can really listen in for your interior notes to see if they sound even and whatnot. So this is a useful exercise for playing along to when you're actually playing the sticking for this version right here. But hopefully that answers some of the questions on there. We got a thumbs up. I think it did. Whoa, not 131. We're at, what, 93? I think? Sure. 93 sounds great. Play. Triplet, triplet. Swiss here. Herta. Next phrase. Ew. Now threes. Now doubles or diddles. Same thing, but it bleeds over the line. Oops, talking messed me up. Inverted roll. Let me actually pull this up. So this might be a little weird for some people. So we have normal rolls and diddles, where you start right, right, left, left, but then the inverted version is right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. So it ends with a double stroke, so like that instead of single note. So you can play a lot of different roll exercises with those inverted diddles, and so you'll find under like the triplet and the 16th note roll exercises, diddle exercises under the technique that you can actually play an inverted version of that. It's great for working on the second note timing and sound quality of your diddles. But let's play through this one more time. Happy Easter to you as well. Go. By the way, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. Ew. Okay, let's stretch and massage, and then we'll play this a lot faster. Hold your sticks, palms facing up. And pull in, follow through, and push out. Ooh wee. This is a good stretch. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. First drum teacher taught me this. Been teaching it ever since. And you just go back out the way you came. If you do traditional grip, which would be weird for, tenors, rotate, hold there, rotate, hold there. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm going to stretch the tendons. We'll do it this way instead of on the wall. I don't know what Sterling is, actually. What's Sterling? Got everything down but the second part. Interesting. Your drumline does that stretch? I wonder if they somehow were taught by Kyle Barentine or by somebody who was a student of his who then is now teaching that. It's a good one. Now we're going to stretch the top side. So do it this way. You could do it one at a time, or you could do two at a time, or you could even just do this one on your legs if you wanted to. Whatever you want. Switch that. Old Blue Devils warm up. I don't think I know that one. I know a lot of old school stuff, but apparently not that one. Now, when you say old school, do you mean like 2010, or are we talking like 90s? Probably my second favorite shopping spree is the Blue Devils 99 spree. That one is on my website. 97 is also interesting. 2000 was interesting as well. If I remember correctly, 2000 goes 3, 4, 5. So you play 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. It's either 2000 or 2001. So like all the patterns are based off of that, which was an interesting idea. Fastest paradiddle. There's some exercises for that. So if you go here, under the chop exercises, which is linked at the top of the screen, right up there on Instagram, you go to the chug variations, and I'd recommend actually working on paradiddle diddles with paradiddles. So, nope, it's not this one. This one. It's a good one. You can also do it with paradiddle 4s. I'm not warmed up enough for that. But that's a good one. Anyways. I need to resume my stretching. Distracting me. Trying to get warmed up. Good morning, Roman. You thought it was early 2000s? Yeah, so I took a break from drumline in around that time, in the mid-10s. So my age out was 2007. But the last year of the March was 2005 because of that car accident that I think I mentioned yesterday. So I couldn't march 06 or 07. And it was honestly depressing to watch drumlines because I was like, I kind of got robbed of 2 out of my potential 7 years. I did 5 in academy and then couldn't march those last 2. So I didn't watch drumlines for a while. So I started watching again recently and enjoyed it. But yeah, took a break because it just made me sad, to be honest, to kind of watch. I was just bummed out. Wanted to give taps during my age out off the field. But it opened up many opportunities for me. So it made me go, okay, I need to really focus on the education side of things, which is why I got like all my degrees in music education. Because like at any moment you could get like an injury and then can't drum, as I found out with my knee. Have I watched Whiplash? Yes, not quite my tempo. Ah. Oh, that was weird. It just like popped like 3 of my knuckles. Why? Yeah, no, I hear you, man. It's hard. Like you put so much into it, so much time and energy and passion and whatnot, and then for whatever reason, whether it's an injury or just getting cut or whatever, it's hard to stay associated with the activity. Thank you for the sub. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I appreciate it. MC. But when one door closes, others can open up as well. So the kind of actually gets into my tattoo meaning. Let me see if I can show it to you. Move this. So it starts with, it's actually raining today, so it's appropriate. So it starts with just carrying the umbrella, starts to rain, pulls out the umbrella, and just starts playing in the rain, so turns it upside down. And so this has had a lot of meaning for me. And for me, like not being able to march my last 2 years of drumline, this kind of encapsulates that. Like, even though it was no good, like obviously I didn't enjoy that. It was nice because I focused on education, which opened up more doors for different career choices, etc. So it ended up being good in the long run. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but many setbacks in life, and things can get better if you find a way to turn it into a positive. Like me leaving my prior job, like led to me now creating content like this, like stuff like that. Like the reasons why I chose to leave that were there's just like toxic, and so it was like a bad situation, just bad environment, and so leaving like turned it into a good thing, even though it was like I left because it was not enjoyable, etc. What years did you march? Oh, I marched Academy, 01 through 5. So that's the Academy logo. So in 2005 was when I got cut from Vanguard. I was the last snare to get cut. It was the year they marched Match Grip, actually. So they're like, well, you got the chops. I could out-chop most of the people on drumline, but they said I couldn't listen in. I think I mentioned that yesterday, but the reason why I couldn't listen in is because the person who was on snares next to me when we were playing the roll exercise was slurring their diddles. And I was like, oh, I should play with the proper interpretation rather than slurring it. So they were kind of doing that. And so I was playing with the correct interpretation, and it created this like little slip between the two. So they're like, well, work on listening in. I was like, oh, okay. Anyways, let's do this. So we're going to go back to the stick control, advanced stick control with filler, and we're going to play it faster than I can play it. Whoops. We're going to get to the breaking point, and then I'm going to work on Beatlicious. What does listening in mean? Okay, so when I'm playing the exercises, I'm trying to make it so that my playing perfectly aligns with what you hear when it starts tapping off, etc. It's the same thing for when you're marching on a drum line. So if you are anywhere but the center, your goal is to listen in to the interpretation of the center, snare, tenor, whatever, and how they are playing it. And so as you go further down the line, it makes it so that if you have like 10 people on your snare line, you only have to correct the interpretation of the center snare, and then everybody else is supposed to follow and match that interpretation. Now, I was not doing that because I was like, oh, well, I should play with the proper interpretation because this person is not playing it correctly. And so I did not listen in to their interpretation of the diddle, which was mathematically incorrect, and instead played the mathematically correct version of it, but it created dirt. So whenever you're listening in, it ideally makes it so you only have to fix one person's interpretation, which is the center snares. and they don't have to worry about listening to other people. They just have to focus on playing in time and going with a drum major, etc. Let's go to 100 timestamps, description, and clicky click. Let's go. Boop. You like my tattoo? Thank you. I like it too. I got the Academy one here, and I got a giant one right here. Slurred out. I used to be your tech teacher. Well, hello, Jared, I'm assuming. I really liked working at Desert Thunder. It was a cool place. That coding class, or classes, they were fun to teach. I enjoyed it. Good school, good kids, good administration. That was like, what, 8 years ago? Sound good? Why, thank you. Until my hand had a hiccup. Okay, this might be my breaking point today. 120. Stay tuned, folks. Let's find out. Today's episode of Hit Things Fast. And then after we do this, we'll actually get into Beatlicious. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, it is getting fast, and you should be able to wrist it too. Etc. So I highly recommend being able to get that hand speed up. So that way you can focus on a relaxed hold, and then you'll be able to have a nice sound quality to it. All right, 130. Ooh-wee. Ooh, that was my elbow popping. That was fun. to say. I don't know what happened. Unsub. All right, cool. Let's stop playing with heavy sticks. And so we got the tenor sticks out now. These are so light compared to those. And the book I'm going to use, you can actually find a link to it under the books and gear I recommend for percussionists. And if you go to Rudimental, boop, it's Quadlogic. So is that one? This book is good. We're going to play through it, but I can't show you the music for it. So let me pull this up on my screen. 1:30 is quick. My hands were like, yeah, we're done. But that's okay. You can be done at fast speeds. Fast tempi, which is plural for tempo. With an I. Not with an E, like the city that I used to live in back in the day. Okay, so let's do this. So I want to turn the volume up. The metronome. So last time we did this at 85. Woo! Woo! Let's start at 60. So this is Quadlogic. I highly recommend it. It's really good. We've gone through most of it. We're now working on the back end of it. Working on Beatlicious, which is a solo. And it's not easy. I'm not very good at. Oh, let me see. I missed your comment. Referring to it's 30 second out format. Any tips on how to play at wrists? Yeah, so one, heavy sticks help out, but two, also working on wrist only, playing through stuff and getting those motions down so that you can stroke whatever it is you're playing, whether it's paradiddles, etc. You can also do that with traditional. If you play traditional, by the way, you can play that way. It's a little weirder, like you're basically hitting the middle finger on the pad like that, but you can still do it. You can also technically do it this way, but into the stick is a little bit easier if you do traditional like this. So you can practice this way. If you do match grip, you can just do two like this. And this works on like your strength. Problem is, you're gonna be hitting yourself. So it doesn't feel good when you do that. But that's how you can like kind of get some reps in quietly. Also practicing mentally is a thing to help out with that. So like, here's an example that I like to give. We can actually go back to normal sticks. So part of the problem might be mental rather than the physical. So one of the things that I notice is like a lot of players, if they're like, let's say a paradiddle, they're playing paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. They're thinking right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. And that's going to slow you down in the long run, especially as you start to go faster. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Like, good luck doing that. So what you instead need to think of is the larger groupings and think of the chunk rather than individual notes within that chunk. So don't think right, left, right, left, left. Instead, what you need to think is right, left, 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 or even just right. Think of two groups together, etc. To make it a little bit easier. So like when I'm thinking of flam drag, I'm not thinking flam diddle tap or flam left, right. I'm thinking flam drag, just one thing, a grouping of three, rather than three individual partials, if that makes sense. Anyways. Pencil neck. No. What's that? I don't think I am. I don't know things. Sticks are upside down. Let's try this. We'll see how this goes. It's been a while. 1, 2, ready, and... Perfect. I think that's proper interpretation for that. Okay. Well, that was rough. It's been a while. I like this, a rainy day out. Having lived in Arizona my whole life, rain is wonderful. It's a desert for those of you who are not familiar with Arizona. It doesn't rain much. Although the last couple years it has. It's been nice. Anyways. A 1, 2, here we go. Oops, no, it's supposed to go there. Where do I want to start? I can't. Brain, work. 2, ready, and. Yeah, so reading Tenor sheet music can be confusing, especially because, you know, composers don't all use the same type of notation for it, which is frustrating. Because, like, for this, what I might see as, like, a rim shot is actually a crossover on here. And it's like, well, wait, what? What am I supposed to do? Which one? Is that my first time reading this? No. We started off at 40 beats a minute, and we went real slow. Why does it keep pulling up the AI assistant? Stop that. Adobe. Two. Yeah, so I march snare, so my tenor reading chops are just kind of okay. They're not that great. Okay, there we go. We're working on it. Had to learn tenors because, you know, taught drumline, so. But this is what I marched. Not this. Alright. We're now at 700 beats a minute. Alright, we finish it. Good morning, Waffle. You just a single waffle? Or are you multiple waffles? Ew. Let's try that again. Are you a hive mind? Are you waffles when you're connected to the hive? Two. Ew. Just a single? Okay. Yeah. That checks out. We're now at AD. Okay, let's try this again. Not very good at this. That's why we're practicing. 1, 2, ready, and. Two. My stick, like, just came out of my hand like this. I barely held onto it. All right, let's try that again. Your eardrums probably exploded. It hit the little, what is that? It's like the cage for it. Gotta keep it tamed. Can't unleash this beast. The Rode NT1000. Okay, there we go. Whoopsies. Let's go back up. The 5-lets, the 4/3 5-lets felt a little weird. This. There we go. Okay. Still plenty of stuff to work on with this. But 85 is where we left it off last time. We'll see how this goes. Any tips on scrapes? You can do them fast, but my left can't do it slow, if you know what I mean. You focus on snare? No, I don't actually have any physical drums. I've got like a dozen different pads. I do have a marimba. I bought that actually because of that car accident where I hit my knee on the dashboard. Again, like turning a negative into a positive. I got a settlement from insurance because the dude ran a red light and I ran into him. And so, obviously not my fault. So that money that I got from that was, I was able to buy a marimba that was half off because a band director bought it over the summer, played it once, realized they didn't have the money for it, so I had to sell it back, and it was technically used because it was played once. So I got it for half the price, which was great for undergrad. So my wife, also a percussionist, she was able to use it for her school, for playing percussion, and then for myself as well. It was great. But I don't have any marching drums. In terms of scrapes, so I've got some VODs previously talking about it, and this book also talks about it as well, but what you really got to focus on is the, let me switch it to this view for YouTube. The distance between from one drum to the next, you want to make it as efficient as possible. So you want to have playing zones along the side, and so there's a tendency to overshoot, playing from center to center, and that gives you a deader sound. And what you want is to have the motion be as tight as possible. And you want it to make it so that whatever you're playing on one drum, that technique transfers over, and all you're doing is moving basically from the elbow, kind of pivoting side to side. So when you're doing tenors, or whenever you're doing any kind of scrapes, the goal is to not like turn your wrist out or in or anything like this when you're moving around the drums. You want to have the same technique going up and down, and you're just moving side to side. So you'll focus on that quick motion to kind of get your hand over there. So my guess is your left might be either changing the technique, or you might not have a fast enough motion to get over there in the amount of time that you need to do that. So if you focus on the the quick motion, improving that, just speeding up that, going to the outside or the inside, and focus on that straight up and down vertical technique. And then those two combined should help you out with that. Should. But without being able to actually see what you're doing, it's a little hard to diagnose. That's just kind of based off of my over a decade of teaching drumline. It's been like a decade, no, more than a decade since I stopped teaching drumline. I stopped teaching it when I did a full semester of my residency for my doctorate and was like, I can't study while also teaching drumline anymore, so I stopped. And then I went and taught computer science education after that, so it's been a while since I've taught drumline. Weird life, weird career. Anyways, let's try this again faster. No. What am I doing? Two. My stick just like came out. Relax technique, folks. Nope. Two, right, woo! Doing great. Ugh, my brain is just mush right now. I need to slow this down, I think. We can work on it slowly, but I'm just not able to focus. I'm too tired, to be honest. I got like 5.5 hours of sleep, according to my metrics on my watch. So, every day when you practice, it's going to present some new difficulties for you. Some days you'll be more focused than others. So today, my brain is like, wait, what do I do? It can't think fast. So we're going to slow it down and focus on just refining the technique while playing through this. And then we're going to chop out with cheese chutichuh and cheese inverts in Chug, which is one of my favorite variations of this. So let's slow this back down to 60. I'll switch the camera angle. You got any hybrid practice pads, the one with actual heads and rims? No, I don't. So the one that I really like is the off-world one. There. So if you go to /gear on my website, this is the one that I frequently am using. Highly recommend it. The slim practice pad is also fine. And then obviously the Tenor pads for this. Use it with the laminates though. Because without the laminates, it's not articulate enough. It's too mushy sounding, in my opinion. As a snare drummer, I want it to be very articulated so I can hear all the inconsistencies and whatnot. But an old school one that I used to use was like the Real Feel pad that had the dual side. So like one was like a harder, choppier one, and the other was more of the gum rubber. But the one that I recommend is this one, the off-world one. And if you use this link, it's an Amazon affiliate link. It does help me out a little bit, but you're not obligated to do so. Amazon usually gives about 4% back for affiliate links, which is nice. Let's try it slow. Two. Okay, so we slowed down on those 4/3 5/8. Your real feel got stolen at school. Yeah, I hear ya. People are not cool. I write my on my real feel, I have like my name and my phone number written on it because I had that happen to me as well. And people will be like, "No, that's my pad. I've had this one forever." And I'd be like, "Oh, I remember that little dent there and why I got it when I was practicing the claw, etc." Like, so I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna use a permanent marker right on it," which is why it's over there, and I didn't pull it up to show you it because it has my phone number on it, and I don't want random people calling me or texting me. Anyways, where are we at? So the 5-lit pattern was still weird. Oops. This is such a weird pattern. Up, 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 Like that. So, You really have to like go to the outer extremes here for this. So like that to like not get in the way of your sticks. Unless you're gonna switch to this, I guess. So you can either do wrist over wrist or stick over stick. Kind of like moves into both. Wrist over wrist feels great for here, but then when I get to the interior ones, it's weird. Okay, so what are some other patterns that I want to work on this one? Let's actually turn off the Met. Turn it off. Ew. 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 This is why we're practicing it. Such a weird little pattern. Does your drop sticks need to be the exact same pair? Could I buy a similar pair? So you talking about the stick, like when if you drop a stick, you like your spare? So you're like your third? Sometimes like 4 of them? You usually want your matched pair, always. The only time I see like graduated or different types of stuff is if you're doing like marimba. But otherwise, sometimes multi-percussion or timpani, you might have like 2 different types of sticks, but you want to have the same articulation across all of your different sticks. Somebody asked that question on Reddit the other day, actually, on the drumline, r/drumline, I think. Anyways, you just made me think of that. The singles are the weird one. Like the interior scrapes are fine. That was you? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I try and answer some questions, pointing people towards the resources to help out and whatnot on Reddit. Okay, my brain is mush. I don't think I'll be able to improve this much more. So let's switch over and chop out. We'll work on that on next week, Thursday? Tomorrow's going to be limb independence. Yeah, I hear you. Drumming is not a cheap hobby, especially like lessons and whatnot. Like I've paid like I forget what I was paying the most recent teacher that I had. I'm pretty sure it was $75 an hour, which that's a lot. So drumming's very expensive. I had a professor who charged like $125 an hour, and he's like, I don't really get students outside of like the ones at the university, but the ones who do are very dedicated because they're paying $125 an hour, so they might do like one a month, etc. So yeah, and with all the sticks and whatnot, like it's expensive. Where is it? Chug, chutichuh, and cheese inverts. This one just came out 2 days ago. Okay, we're gonna chop out with this. We're gonna play as fast as we possibly can, and just have fun. We'll start off at a nice leisurely. Itchy knee. Since you're talking about finances, if you want to get extra nerdy, one of the things that I've been really into for several years now is something called Financial Independence Retire Early. It's called FIRE for short, or the acronym. They talk a lot about intentionality with finances, like the podcast Afford Anything with Paula Pant, and what are some other ones? Financial Samurai, or Mr. Money Mustache. Weird names, I know. But they talk about how to be intentional with money and finances, and that has significantly changed my life for the better. We are 100% debt-free because of following the advice on there. So if finances are difficult, take a look at some of those. The podcasts are free. You can learn a lot from them to get debt-free and learn how to save more, invest, etc. But yeah, like drumline in particular for drum corps is also just very expensive. Like flying out to Vanguard was expensive. Like I had to work a lot in the summers to save up. Thankfully Academy was local, but if I was flying for those last couple of years, yikes. Woo-wee! All right, let's try 110. My left hand feels a little off today. May have overdone it in my workout this morning. But I'm glad I did it. All right. 120. This is going to be the breaking point. Calling it here. We're going to try it, though. Do it! Channel my inner Shia LaBeouf. Yes, you can! Man, I wanted to back down down and give up. But then I thought about Nick A30, and I was like, no, I can do this. There's a bunch more Chug variations. Literally over 1,000 more free play-alongs. Linked at the top of the screen if anybody's interested. How do you practice drill while playing snare at home? No, that's not a silly question at all. That's a very difficult question to answer. It depends on your situation. But one of the ways that I did it is actually go to like a soccer field or just like a big open park, etc. And ideally, if you could, like a football field with all the hash lines, etc. But practice just like marching, well, whatever, doing that or doing this. Just getting your hands going while moving. Even if you don't have a drum, you can still do all that. Okay, thank you, Windows, for telling me that. I appreciate that for the jump scare. Another thing is like visualize it. So a lot of drum lines like WGI, DCI, what they'll end up doing is they'll like be just marking time, and they'll have like step off this way, and they'll just kind of like, and then we step off this way. A lot of brass lines do this in particular, and then they'll like go like this and do their like fake little wee weird things with their hips. So you can visualize like, oh, these are the motions that I'm going to do, and you're just kind of thinking in your head what it would look like if your body was not just confined to like a 2x2 little square. But they're not as effective as like actually playing with a drum. But yeah, just like moving around and just playing. You don't have to actually physically play through it. You can even just play the check. Like if you're not able to play, like, then just play on your wrist, and you're getting all that down, etc. So hopefully that helps out. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I can help you. So I'm just trying to share how I practice and the recommendations that I give. But I do turn these into little tips and clips and whatnot that I then share with other people. There's like 800 on here. Yeah, 806 videos. I don't think it shows all 800 of them, though. But there's plenty of tips in here. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't show all the older ones. That's weird. But hopefully those help as well. And I'm going to be working on more scripted stuff as like under the lessons under here. I've only got like 3 of them. But all the prior live streams are here. So just stop in for future live streams if you want to. And feel free to ask more questions. Or if you post a question on Reddit and I feel like somebody else has not answered it in the way that I might, then I'll also jump in there as well and kind of give some tips and advice if I happen to see the question. But I'm going to call it here. I'm tired. My hands are tired. And I'm going to go work on some edits. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. If you enjoy these play-alongs, to share it with somebody else. That's all I ask. They're all free. They're on YouTube. And there's 1,000 of them. If you don't want to go to the link at the top of the screen, you don't have to. You can just go to my YouTube channel. And I can't subscribe to myself. Under the drumming content, just click on that header, and boom, it just shows you the drumming content there. Since I also make gaming and computer science stuff. In fact, there's a new Fortnite video coming out tomorrow. And then this one on Friday. Oh yeah, that snipe was hilarious. Headshot through the tree. Cousin told you to follow? Oh, I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate your cousin for telling you to check out this content. Lots of free content, but I'm going to call it here. So, again, thank you, everybody. I'm glad I can help in some kind of way, whether it's the play-alongs or these, like, answering questions and whatnot. But, goodbye.